Men
say it.
having gorgeous bodies for the gays.
And so there you have it. Out of the closet is Coach Greg. Coach Greg, in today's video, if you have abs and you're past the age of 30, then you're giving girls the ick. I didn't make this shit up. I'm watching it on the Josh Peck podcast, over 3.5 million followers. And so they're interviewing this girl, and she likes tennis and pickleball and so on. But she says, if you got abs and you're not a professional athlete, then you got to go. You're giving me the ick. And so we're going to watch this video together, and I'm going to put her in her place. I'm going to tell you exactly how moronic she is, how she doesn't make any sense. And by the end of the video, you're going to have a great laugh, and you're going to want to have a six-pack.
I thought that you'd have a worse reaction to pickleball. You're a lover of all paddle sports.
I love all paddle sports. I also think that I might get some fun charity.
And so remember, this is coming from a woman who loves all paddle sports. And so it's not as if she's morbidly obese, that she's against people who play sports. She likes paddle sports, pickleball, tennis, badminton, whatever. But yet, abs give her the ick.
I don't really believe in being competitive in anything that doesn't make you money.
You can't be competitive in anything unless it makes you money. Sounds like somebody who's not competitive in anything aside from making money. What is wrong with competition? What is wrong with trying to be your best self?
The toxic energy of men into sports, past collegiate sports.
Did this guy put on his panties backwards this morning? The toxic energy of men who compete in sports past the collegiate level. And so once you're past 22 years of age, which is when I graduated from university, you can no longer play sports. Well, I'm a professional yoga athlete. I do yoga harder than last time. I got the headband, the wristbands, the yoga mat. I'm going to yoga. What's wrong with that? And so I'm above the age of 30. And so when I go to yoga class and I have a six-pack, that given all the other girls that are watching me there, the ick, ew, look at old Coach Greg. He has abs beyond the age of 30. Stay out of the class. We don't want you in yoga, Coach Greg. What is wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with having abs after the age of 30. Who came up with this nonsense?
If you get injured playing a sport in your 40s, give up.
And so can you hear the nonsense for this guy? He clearly got his panties in a knot. I mean, he woke up this morning, he chose violence. If you get injured in a sport after the age of 40, give up. And so if you go to the gym and you're lifting weights, doing leg press, for example, and you hurt your quad a little bit, give up. Don't train anymore. If you're out there playing flag football and you sprain your ankle, you should never play again. You can't play sports after the age of 30. You can't be competitive. You can't try to be the best version of yourself. What hope does this guy have? Well, I'll tell you, he has none.
That's my husband. He's always injured. Like, he injured himself skiing, which I guess is a hobby.
And so her husband, he hurt himself skiing. And so, that's pathetic. I mean, he just got to retire. Can't ever ski again. Yeah, after all, he got hurt. When I was a kid, we'd go on the playground and we'd climb the monkey bars, we'd climb trees, we'd jump around, and we'd dust ourselves off and get back up. Today's day and age, oh my goodness, you can't do anything. It's like being a bubble boy. You got to stay inside for the rest of your life.
He was on a double black at 48, but I'm not going to get into it.
And so her husband's 48, and I looked it up. She's 32. That's a 16-year age difference. For those of you wondering, it's okay for a guy 48 years old to date somebody who's 15 years or more younger than him.
But no, you're so right. I think it's an ick when a guy has abs in his like late 20s or 30s and he's not a professional athlete.
Oh, it's worse than I thought. If he's in his late 20s or 30s and he has abs, she's getting the ick. Remember, this is from a woman who's married to someone who's 48. And so what age exactly is the cutoff? Late 20s, I guess that's 27 or beyond. And so if you're 27 or younger, I guess it's okay to have abs. But after 27, you can no longer have abs. And so when you reach 27, guys, if you're watching this, you're younger, you need to go on a bulk. A permy bulk forever after the age of 27, or you're giving girls the ick. And remember, this does not apply to Coach Greg. I am, in fact, a professional athlete. I'm a professional bodybuilder, powerlifter, and yoga attendee athlete extraordinaire. Oh, and I race professionally on Zwift. Does that count? I don't get paid, and so no, I guess it doesn't. It only counts if you can get money, and so I have, in fact, made money from powerlifting. I've never been paid in bodybuilding because I just wasn't good enough to win, but I am, in fact, a professional athlete. So it's okay for me to have abs. She's not going to get the ick.
I'm like,
Oh,
what
good.
is...
Yes.
What is it
Ben,
for?
Thank
No,
God.
it's true. It's
Thank God.
'cause
Thank
those
God.
guys-
Of course, this soy boy would respond with, "Oh, good, yay, oh, good. I don't like to have abs. A girl, she said that I don't need abs. I like her lots." What is wrong with you? And so think of it. You're a marathon runner, cyclist, bike rider, you're a tennis player, you play beach volleyball, and you eat a healthy diet, and you happen to have a six-pack. You didn't even try that hard. You just eat healthy. You just care about yourself. You're trying to live a healthy lifestyle. You have 15% body fat. Giving her the ick. If you don't have a dad bod, then, well, there's something psychologically wrong with you. After all, why would you ever want to be an epitome of health? Why would you want to live longer than last time? I have no idea what anyone want that. And so it's much more attractive for you to not work out, eat like shit, have a dad bod, and you'll get all the girls, right? And so what better way to represent yourself than to be the epitome of health? To demonstrate to the world that you have the courage, that you have the fortitude to work harder than last time, both in the gym and in the kitchen. That you have a six-pack. That shows not only how dedicated you are to yourself, but that you can apply yourself to anything. Imagine the work it takes, the discipline, the willpower, the testicular fortitude, the stick-to-itiveness to go in the gym day after day and to put the fork down. How is that bad? How is that giving you the ick?
They're counting their micros and macros, which is like exhausting.
I can't remember the last time I counted my micros and my macros. I just race bikes hard than last time, lift weights, have the biceps, and I just happen to have a six-pack. Is there something wrong with that? Oh, heaven forbid that guy has a six-pack. He's got Coach Greg's Cookbook 3.1, but you don't have to track any macro or micronutrients whatsoever. Heaven forbid you read my freaking book, How to Lose Weight, Keep It Off for the Rest of Your Life, of which I invented a diet, the Circle Diet book. Oh, that guy, he's a loser. He has abs. He wrote a book on dieting, nutrition. He has over 3,300 videos explaining how to get into shape of your life. I wouldn't want to date him. Loser gave me the ick. Really? Possibly, maybe, are you in fact projecting? Oh, he's going to judge me. He has abs, and so he's going to look at me, and I'm not in shape. I don't work out regularly. I don't eat healthy. And so he's going to make fun of me because he has abs and I don't. Really? Is that what you think people that have abs do? That you on purpose look around and see different people and say, oh, I see you're overweight. I'm going to put you down. Of course not. This is not how it works.
And it clearly, like, they're overcompensating for something that they have to have, like, 3% body fat.
Yeah, I'm overcompensating for having a 7-inch long, 6 inches around. And so it's either I'm overcompensating for being short. Oh, it's because he's a 5'6" manlet. He has to have abs to make up for the fact that he's not 6 feet tall. Or who gives a cookbook? Really? Clearly overcompensating. Now, she announces 3% body fat. Obviously, she has no idea what 3% body fat looks like. She'd probably see Coach Greg and say, yeah, you got 2%. Listen, you can have a six-pack and be 15% body fat. Some people have abs at 20% body fat. And so I certainly don't think she's just talking about guys with 3%. Even Chris Bumstead, the Mr. Olympia champion, did not have 3% body fat. And so when she says 3, she's just throwing out a number.
Unless you're making money from your abs, why the fuck do you have abs?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because you're doing cardio and you're being active and you're playing sports. Perhaps you're playing sports competitively, but you're doing so for fun because it's fun to play sports. Participation in sport has done so much for so many people. Remember, I was a physical education instructor. My life's goal was to show people, show the world how enjoyable it is to take part in sport. And so when I see somebody that says, hey, you shouldn't be active in sports unless you're a professional, you shouldn't have abs unless you make money from it, why can't somebody just be fit? Is there something wrong with being fit?
Totally.
Amen.
Isn't that fantastic how the guy who put his panties on backwards in the morning, isn't that amazing how he says, yeah, absolutely, I agree with everything you say. Of course you do. When you're a guy that doesn't eat healthy, that you're not active, you're not competitive in sport, of course you're going to have this idea. Oh, I love this woman. She's saying everything that I want to hear. Coach Greg, I tell you what you need to hear. And you need to hear this. Just because you have abs, you're not giving someone the ick. Just because you care about what you put into your body, about eating healthy, about exercising, 150 minutes of moderate pace, zone 2 cardio per week. Is there something wrong with that? And remember, if you're overweight and or obese, it can shorten your life. You're more risk to getting a heart attack, type 2 diabetes, strokes, cancers, and so on.
Because you don't need
bless.
abs to be healthy.
There's a big difference between having a clearly defined etched in abdominals the way the Liver King has, and simply having abs. If you can see a visible 4-pack in the correct down lighting, technically you still have abs. You can see them. We're not talking about etched in 6-pack detail, crazy 3% body fat. But many people at 20% body fat, for example, Eddie Hall, probably closer to 30% body fat. I see abs on Eddie. And so is he giving you the ick? Now remember, he's a professional athlete, and so he's allowed. But he doesn't at 375 pounds look healthy. He might be thinking, yeah, healthy at every size. This is bullshit. You can't be healthy at every size. If you give me somebody who's 400 pounds, who's running and doing cardio and training every single day, you're saying that person's healthy. I'm saying if they lost 100 pounds and became a 300-pound person, they're going to be healthier than they were at 400 pounds. And if they went and lost another 50 pounds, they're healthier at 250 than 300, and so on. Now, I'm not saying you should get down to 3 or 4 or 5 or 6% body fat. I'm not saying you need to be single-digit body fat. But remember, I've stated many times in perhaps 1 or 2 or 300 videos, 15% body fat for men. And on average, women need to be about 9% higher to be healthy. And at 15% body fat, most men, if they flex at all in any kind of good lighting, they are in fact going to have abs.
Some would say it's unhealthy.
It's unhealthy. It's an unhealthy obsession to get down to that perfect sculpt.
I do think, yeah, the extremes, neither are good.
Yeah, and so if you have 15% body fat, it's unhealthy. If you have abs, if you can see them in the right lighting, you need to go in a bulk. Anyone that has abs, not only are giving them the ick, it's also unhealthy. And so please, bulk up. Perhaps have more sugars, candies, and so on. Stop playing sports, retire from sports. You might get hurt. And so anyone past, remember, 27 years of age, you're now on a perm bulk forever.
If you see a guy with abs, you're like, so during the times you've been at the gym, you could have been in therapy working on yourself.
Anyone with abs, rather than going to the gym and training, rather than racing bikes, I should just be in therapy. I mean, think of it. I'm 48, and what if I get injured? What if I crash on my bike? I've done that. I've had 2 surgeries on both elbows, broke my elbows. I could literally have spent all the time, perhaps I'm spending 10 hours a week in the gym lifting weights, doing cardio. I could have spent all that time with a therapist figuring out, why do you do this? Why do you punish yourself? Well, I'll tell you what. It's not punishment. I like it. It's fun. It gives me la joie de vivre. I have a reason to wake up in the morning, and it makes me happy. And so how is that bad? Well, she's trying to tell me why. Well, it gives her the ick because she thinks I'm going to judge her when she eats her pizza while I'm eating my anabolic French toast.
No, but I love you guys being like male voices in like the body space.
Yeah, I love them being male voices, aka beta male voices, who are simps for a woman that's telling them what they want to hear. It's so fantastic. Wow, yeah, take semi-glutide. Oh, don't train. You shouldn't be active. You shouldn't play sports. What great masculine male role models that these 2 gentlemen are. And oh, don't do anything unless it's something to make you money, because money is the root of all happiness. I can tell you I'd trade in my millions of dollars to race bikes. I trade all the millions of dollars in the world that allow me to continue to play in sports, because playing sports for me, it makes me happy.
But in general, also just like talking about your weight, I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's easy. When you're fat, you're comfortable talking about like trying to get less fat.
And so isn't it ironic that he's saying, hey, I'm fat. It's easy for me to talk about being less fat. Meanwhile, she's saying if you have abs, it gives you the ick. And so which is it? If you have abs, it's giving you the ick. And if you have body fat and you don't have abs, well, you're trying to get those abs. See the problem here?
And like these like ripped guys like don't want to admit that they're like injecting themselves. Josh and I talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
You couldn't have gotten that way from perhaps riding bikes or running or going to the gym and training. Remember, they're talking about abs. We're not talking about winning the Mr. Olympia championship. Just having abs. I go to yoga class. I see a lot of older skinny guys that I know they don't even lift weights. All they do is go to yoga and they're stretching. And they have abs. And why? Because abs comes from having lower body fat percentage. For example, below 20%. 15%, if you're 10, you're going to be ripped. And so they don't need to inject themselves to have abs. And just because you have abs doesn't mean you look like Coach Greg.
The reason you look like that and I don't look like that is because you're doing something to your body that I'm not doing.
And so consider this, Mr. Podcast Hoster. I did 42 competitions, 100% natural. I had abs as a teenager. You really think I was injecting as a teenager? I was doing triathlons. I was running, swimming, and biking. I didn't train to get abs. They just happened to be there because I was burning off a lot of calories, riding bikes, swimming, running, being a healthy teenager.
Yeah.
Injections, proteins, not collagen, what is it, creatine, all this random crap. Nobody looks like that just because it's normal.
And so what you forgot to mention is you could also take GO2 Max for increased cardio. You could take Acti Builder and Turk Builder as well to help you train harder than last time and build more muscle than ever before. But these are 100% natural. Don't got to inject. If you don't think these can make a difference, well, please read all the studies. If you're interested in GO2 Max, Acti Builder, Turk Builder, or things like creatine, head over to my website. And remember, we have 50% off on creatine. And so you can believe this threesome over here. You don't need abs. Abs are horrible. They're giving girls the ick. You should retire after the age of 27. Don't play sports. You might get hurt. Or you can be like Coach Greg. You can be a professional yoga attendee. All you got to do is wear the bands, the headbands, the wristbands, and you show up and you take the friggin' shirt off and you do your stretches harder than friggin' last time. And no, just because you have abs at yoga, you're not going to be made fun of. The girls are not going to absolutely reject you, and they're not going to cancel you for showing up from having a six-pack.
What was that guy's name, Josh? The Liver King? You think that people look like the Liver King? Liver King just by going on the treadmill?
And so clearly there's a big difference between a guy that has abs, perhaps he's a triathlete, a guy that goes to yoga, and the Liver King who's been spending over $10,000 a month on growth hormone and other performance-enhancing drugs. And so don't compare guys with abs to the Liver King. These are two extreme differences in human behaviors.
Like, why do you think gay guys have the best bodies?
I don't personally think that gay guys have the best bodies. I am personally not gay. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I don't care who's gay. We know that Noel Diesel is openly gay. He has an incredible physique. But as far as I know, Chris Bumstead, in the world of bodybuilding, he has the best physique. And I do believe that Chris is not, in fact, gay, although perhaps making many men want to be gay. And who else do we have? We have Derek Lunsford. I know he's happily married, has a brand new baby. And so I don't believe he's gay. He has an amazing physique, arguably the best physique in the entire world. And so I don't think that we can just sit here and throw out and say, gay guys have the best physiques. I don't think so.
It's honestly gay to have a six-pack.
Full stop. Full stop. It's gay to have a six-pack. And so boys out there, if you got a six-pack, apparently it's gay now. It's 2024. Who knows what's next?
Clip it.
I like it.
Of course he likes it. He's probably comparing his masculinity to other more masculine men. He's thinking, well, I don't have abs. And all of a sudden he hears, oh, if you have abs, you're gay. Considering he has no abs, oh, that's now making more masculine. Most men, they like being masculine, not feminine. And so in hearing that, perhaps it brightened his day. I'm so happy that she's saying this. If you have abs, you're gay. And most of the best looking men, they're also gay. Really? Projecting a little much?
By the way, you as a girl, you can
Men
say
having gorgeous bodies for the gays.
And so there you have it. Out of the closet is Coach Greg. And so let me know in the comment section, what do you think of all this? Are you on Team Greg? Or are you on Team having abs is both gay and unattractive and gives girls the ick? I'm telling you, people don't mind having a six-pack. Remember, don't take it too far. Don't think you need to have 3 or 4 or 5 or even single-digit body fat. This is ridiculous. But having a six-pack, having abs, being healthy, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't think you should stop playing sports after the age of 30 or 27. It's also ridiculous. You should be playing sports for the rest of your life. It's going to keep you fit, active. It's good for your health, physically, mentally, socially, spiritually, everything. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 boops. And of course, all the supplements discussed on my website, as well as the cookbook, training books, the Circle Diet book, all available on my website. Also in PDF, you can get that. If you don't have any money, get the free diet and training program. It's close to 50 pages in length. Head over to my website, code Greg 15% off. And until next time, I am out.